Tonight on the Innew Sphere News Network, we bring you a very special broadcast. Over the last few weeks, rumors have abounded of a rival news organization titled the News of the Innew Sphere. Allegations suggest that they source their stories by using such tactics as research and common sense. Counter-accusations have been leveled at the ISNN of targeted sabotage in the form of a Quack Attack. So, with all of these accusations flying about, we have obviously decided to invite them onto the show for an interview. Join us now as Walter Fowle returns from his vacation at Space Station 13 to interview NOTIS in person. NOTIS? Hey, am I pronouncing this correctly? No, not Tice? NOTIS? What is that? Anyway, we go live now to Walter Fowle, live in the field.
Hello, and thank you for joining us on an interview on the Innew Sphere News Network, home of the best news acronym in the known universe. NOTIS, it's a pleasure to have you on. If you don't mind, please tell the audience what inspired you to start up your own news network.
Oh, thank you. Well, for starters, Comstar wanted to bring their propaganda, totally legitimate news, to the citizens of the Innew Sphere in the form of yearly notices. And so NOTIS, N-O-T-I-S, the acronym for making up news of the Innew Sphere, was born. Since most of their C-bills are tied up in black ops and false flag operations under the cover of completely and totally legitimate business dealings, they could only afford me and my urban mech to be the news anchor.
Well, that certainly does sound like the kind of operation that Comstar would pull and then not bother to fund. They're notoriously cheap. Now, I have on good authority that you were subject of it says here, a Quack Attack? Tell me about that and what it involves, if you don't mind sharing with the audience, that is. We here at the ISNN would love to help clear the air.
Well, I woke up one morning and there were a flock of ducks surrounding my studios, all quacking their tail feathers off. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?
Of course, I wouldn't know anything about that, because that would involve spending all of your time after work raising and training attack ducks for the last 3 years, and the guy at the feed store wouldn't even deliver to your house anymore. And hey, look at that, we're out of time. Thank you for joining us on the ISNN, where we bring you legally news. Back to you in the studio, Wrathblade.
Hey, get back here.
So I guess it is NOTIS. Oh, thank you, Walter. So, there it is, folks. A plucky newsman and his trusty urban mech boldly playing the part of Comstar's underpaid mouthpiece, and a firm denial that we of the ISNN could possibly afford a flock of ducks, because that would imply that we have a budget. Thank you for joining us for this special broadcast. Tune in later for coverage of the annual Van Zandt three-legged mech race, where the entry of a modified Goliath quad mech has created quite a stir. This has been Wrathblade of the ISNN, still your best source of legally news.